Hello guys, Walaladipo here. Do you know that we could inherit the sufferings of our ancestors? Absolutely correct. You could demonstrate the sufferings of the past, ancestry, traumatic experiences. Studies upon studies have shown, especially from the early 90s when transgenerational trauma research started, we now know that you do not have to suffer trauma in your own lifetime to express PTSD symptoms. We know that through the epigenetic processes, you can express the sufferings of the past ancestors. So what we know is that some people, they are actually, they get addicted to, say, alcohol at their first proper drink. And many of them might not have even been traumatized at all. So there's some propensities, there's some vulnerability factors that we might have downloaded from previous generations, because those vulnerability factors might have been adaptive for our ancestors regarding their survival many years ago. And the survival brain has preserved those propensities of adaptation, which we now call vulnerabilities. For example, if you're predisposed to alcoholism, perhaps alcohol was protective to your ancestors that got traumatized. They didn't know how to deal with it. They didn't have any help. The only way to deal with it was through drinking. Drinking, which is a form of which is an addiction, is a dissociative state. It helps you cope. It tones down the nervous system. Is a nervous system depressant. So it helps you to relax a little bit, to forget your sorrows. And if that was how ancestors coped, no wonder the survival brain preserves that propensity, and that is transmuted into the upcoming generations. Even now you turned up in your own life. Your life was consistently okay until you were invited for your first drink, and you realized that you're hooked the first drink. Now, you may never express vulnerability genes, but studies have shown that it is when life becomes tough on you, you start to experience chronic stress or your own trauma, that you start to express all the vulnerabilities, and it becomes extremely overwhelming for you to be able to move through resilience and come out on the other side. So many of us succumb to life challenges quicker than anticipated because of some vulnerability factors. It is not your fault. Even though we blame ourselves for everything, you are a majority, ladies and gentlemen. You are not an isolated being. Move towards compassion. Embrace compassion. Things that you blame yourself for, such as I am defective, I'm weak, look at me. I can't even stay sober for 2 minutes. Look at me, I can't hold down a relationship. I can't even hold down a job. I feel like I'm a waste of space. All those automatic negative thoughts that eventually elevate our stress chemical levels are unfair, because you are a majority. The genes in your genome, the entire DNA that makes you, you were not handpicked. You did not handpick them. You did not handpick them. These are the genetic cocktail that previous generations, through the epigenetic means, have picked for you. So the key area of recovery: number one, increase your psychoeducation. We have a whole bunch of courses on trauma, on complex PTSD, on vicarious trauma, burnout, and resilience that you can go on to. Just check our website out of that. And you can expand your understanding to move towards compassion. Compassion recreates your cognitive environment and emotional environment for safety, it starts to trigger healing. And the first place to start, as I've mentioned, is psychoeducation. Then the second thing depends on the first thing, compassion. Start to embrace compassion. Write down positive affirmations of compassion. Get compassion-based anything. Compassion-based mindfulness of anything that's connected to compassion. And start to wash your entire mind and body with a stream of compassionate energy. You'll be stunned. Do that for the next 6 months. You'll be stunned. Share this and like it. Speak to you soon.